I'm wily. Oh, she look evil. Glad to be her. Taking all the fire and just spit it out in your direction. Get protection. I either matter or burn. You should run, 'cause I'll swallow your heartbeat. Make you feel like you can't breathe. Destroy your everything and never apologize. Have you grovel for mercy? Worship the temple of me. Sacrifice your only life. Oh, should I be there? Could I be her? Taking all the fire and just spit it out in your direction. Get protection. I either matter or burn. Taking all the fire and just spit it out.
It's currently 8:13. We are on the way to drop Finley off at preschool, Harley off at primary school. I nearly said preschool. And the battery life so far on the phone, I believe, was around 94% when I last checked. And that was just after doing a bit of doom scrolling, checking all my emails and going through some other applications and things like that. And so actually no, the phone's at 91% and this watch is at 96%. So the fact that I haven't actually even used the watch today and it's already dropped down to 96% is not looking good. The phone, on the other hand, I've used quite a bit, so I can understand why that is at 91%. But I don't know if that will last all day. Now, not many people wake up at around 5:30 anyway, so that could be a bit of a difference if you wake up around 7, 8, 9 or so on. But I won't be charging the phone today and we will see how long it lasts and when it does die. Now, what I'm going to be doing is trying to find a location using Gemini for the best possible images, like the photo opportunities and things like that, so we can go and test out the cameras and also test them against the S23 Ultra. But I won't be using the 200 megapixel camera because obviously the Flip does not have that. So it only goes up to 50 megapixels and that's all we're going to be using. So I'll do the same on the S23 Ultra as well as the Flip. Yes. So what the plan is for now, head back home, pick up my camera bag, it's got my other little bits in. Then I'm going to use the Z Flip 7 and the Gemini AI to find a location near me that is good for photography or just in general a nice landscape. So then I can go and test out the cameras and compare them, which one's better. Obviously use the log footage to see how that works and how good the log footage looks compared to either using my Sony a7C II or the DJI with D-Log. Obviously the S23 Ultra doesn't have any log settings, so that is one upgrade that a lot of people were going for, is the fact that you can use the log preset to actually enhance your color grading in editing. Unlike the standard color profile, which I believe is like Rec 709, and then you just add on a LUT on top of it, it doesn't give you much wiggle room when it comes to actually dynamic lighting. Today's a bit of a forecast day, but then also sun's coming out. It's a bit of a weird one, so I don't know how well it's going to look. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. And then when I get home, I'll also see what the battery percentage is on, and then we can go from there. Bag is secured with all of the bits that I need for today, ND filters and things like that, other lenses and stuff. But anyway, let's check over the phone. We are currently on the time of 9:15 in the morning, and we are at 87% on the Z Flip 7 and 95% on the watch. Little bit concerning about the phone battery, even though I've been using it mainly as the little screen. But I did download an app that allows me to utilize the home screen as all my apps, basically, instead of having to flip the phone up. So in a sense, that saves a little bit of battery, but I have been on it since 5:30 this morning, checking emails and all that stuff. The watch, on the other hand, I mean, unless it's constantly checking heart rates and things like that, that battery life's gone down a little bit quicker than I expected. But anyway, let's check Gemini and see if it can find me a location that's good to take photos, testing of this camera. Now, it is a bit overcast today. The sun's literally gone in now. Apparently tonight's expecting rain anyway, so I won't be going out at night time taking photos. So really a low light test is not going to be possible in this video. There may be other chances that I get, but obviously I have kids and my wife works at night times, so you know, you got to compromise on some things. But anyway, let's ask Gemini if there's any locations around me that is good for landscape photos or even wildlife. So actually, before we do that, I want to mention this thumb press, okay? The fingerprint scanner on this, when it's collapsed or folded, it's in a nice location that you can press it and get all your widgets and just use it as it is. But when it folds up, it goes all the way to the top bar. No one holds their phone that high, right? Because then you can't use the apps at the bottom. What I'd have liked personally is if they'd put that thumbprint on the bottom pad, So when you open it up, it's still in that perfect position to utilize that thumbprint, because now I've got to lift. That's why I've also changed it so I can use my finger on this side. But anywho, let's ask Gemini. Is there any locations nearby that is good for landscape or nature photography?
Based on your location, here are several excellent places for landscape and nature photography. I've also included a map showing their locations.
I'm kind of thinking of like a derelict building that I'd like to sort of explore, but there isn't really any around here.
While it is important to exercise caution, there are several known locations in West Yorkshire that are popular.
I'm not in Yorkshire! So we asked Gemini to give me some locations best for photography or derelict buildings. It gave me some in the local area, but they were also quite a distance away. And I know of one that's actually completely demolished, so it's not actually that up to date when it comes to the derelict buildings part. But for most of it, it was quite accurate. Apart from the fact it thought I was in Yorkshire at one point. Completely wrong address, like that's way up north. Gemini, for now, I think I'm gonna leave you. I'm not gonna follow your instructions of going somewhere. Right, no more dilly-dallying. Time to go out and get some photos. I know a location which was actually close to where I was with taking my kids to school, but there's a nice little wooded area there. It's got a nice little lake in the middle. I can sit down, talk to the camera and do all the testing that I need to. So that's where we're gonna go. But first I'll probably head to Costa, grab a drink. The time is currently 9:30. Battery check 9:30, and the battery for the phone is on 85%. The watch is at 94%. So there you go. Now time to head off and go test the phones.
It's an endless night, it's a starless sky, it's a hill that I go. It's a long goodbye on the other side of the loneliness I know. Why'd you have to chase the light somewhere I can't go? As I walk this world alone. As I walk this world alone.
What an absolute banger of a song, mate. Let's see what we've got.
How can I Costa?
Oh yeah, can I get a medium maple hazel latte, please?
Of course, can you have for the cream on it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Okay.
That's right. Do you thank you very much? This is actually the first time I've ever put this camera on the outside of my car, and I'm super nervous that it's just gonna wiggle off. So I'm going super slow, just in case it does decide to pop off. I'm actually gonna put my window up so I can see it properly. I'm freaked out, I've never done this before, so if it falls off, I'm gonna cry. Going to the location now. Okay, so far newer, you're staying on, you're pretty good. She's probably looking at it like, what is on the side of that car? It's something sticking off your car, mate. I know. I stuck it there. All right. Let's go take some photos. This is the location we're going down. Down here, we're going to test out the camera on the Flip 7. Nice latte in hand as well. This is actually one of the first videos I've really come outside and tested. I don't really go out, to be fair. Very introverted person. Very warm day. I shouldn't have worn this big jacket though. I've noticed there's no bin. The only thing with this is it doesn't have a telescopic lens. So for long shots of birds and stuff, I won't actually be able to get that. Why has there not a bin around? This is so stupid. I'm gonna have to head back to the car first, put this in the bin, and then come back. Now we're hands-free. It's a bit more versatile for holding everything, so I can actually show off the phone a bit better as well. So yeah, so far I'm actually really impressed with the phone. There is a few things I've found that you want to change when you first get the phone, which I'll make another video on about my sort of experience with what I needed to change to sort of utilise the chip, because it's not that chip that everyone's normally used to being a Snapdragon. This is actually the UNOS chip, I believe it's called. Is it UNOS or ENOS? Whatever it's called. So out of breath. I need to do this more often. Yeah, this is the one that Samsung didn't really promote, and it was just left to be put in this device, and everyone kind of questioned why. I will say, while it's not obviously quicker than the Snapdragon, it's not slow. Okay, it does its job, it works really well. So yeah, I would say gaming on high-end games, probably not the best thing for this chip, because it does get warm really quick. Now, I mean, it's not ridiculously warm at the point that you can't use the phone. It just, you feel it in your hand that it's starting to warm up. It doesn't run high-end games as well as the Fold. For what it is, a really nice phone. I really do like it. Putting me on the fence of whether to get one of these when I upgrade or go for the Fold. So that's a good sign, right? What we're going to do is test this camera against the S23 Ultra. The upgrade for me, that would be whether it's actually worth it or not. Hopefully you can hear me and not the wind, because if you can just hear wind, I really do apologise. That's at 916, that's at 921, 916, that's what we want. Already the colours, this one here is the S23 Ultra, and this one here is the Flip. I mean, the colours already, you can just see. I'll take a photo of the exact same thing. I'll put them up on screen. The left side will be the S23, the right side will be the Flip. While they are exactly the same, let me take a close-up of this S23, and then there is the Flip. So again, both the exact same. Let's try a Conquer. S23 Flip. Just want to really utilise like the greens. Let's look at the greens. As you can see, they are completely different. Whether you can colour grade them in AI with the Flip compared to the S23, it's already just colour graded. No idea, but for that colour alone, just is insane. There's some nice pink flowers here. We'll try to get some other colours than just green. Okay, there we go. So like I said, the left side will be the S23 Ultra, right side will be the Flip. This is more of just a test at the minute for the 12 megapixel cameras. Then we'll jump over to the 50 megapixel and see how they do. And let's try with some background lighting. Let's switch over to the 50 megapixel. Yeah, again, the colours are already 50 megapixel. Now, with the 50 megapixel, what I've noticed is it takes a while for it to actually save the photo. You'll take the photo and then it will take a while for it to actually load in the next frame. If you want the photo exact, stick with 12, because the 50 will re-render another photo. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Let's try a zoom, so we've got 4 times. See if you can notice what I'm trying to take a photo of. So normally my day in life does not revolve around doing any of this. Normally it's sitting at home at the office. 5 times is on this one, where this one can actually go to 6 times. But what we're going to do is try and get it. There we go. So now we're both on 5 times, and I find like this one seems a lot darker. Like the Flip seems darker the more zoomed it in it is. So what we're going to do is just, oh my god. Let's try to get a bit of a close-up on these flowers while being in 5 times without falling in this dirty water. The colour's just insane. Right, let's try with the 12 megapixel again. That again goes, we need 5 times. Go back to that flower there. Make sure we're focused on the flower. And that is at 5 times at 12 megapixel. I don't know what it is, but the S23 is just absolutely annihilating colour. Yeah, the colours are just, I don't know, they're popping. So I'm actually going to film some stuff here. So now the cool thing about this is I've just turned it to Ultra HD, which is basically 4K 30. If I fold it, it becomes a digicam or like a handy cam. So you can actually utilise it this way. And we're going to obviously do a little walk around. I'm going to start recording on the phone, and I'm going to use the microphone from the actual phone itself, so you can hear what it sounds like in the wind, with the birds, everything. And try and colour grade this so it looks somewhat good. I don't know how well the colour grading is on the Flips. I've seen the S25 Ultra's colour grading on the log is fantastic, but when it comes to the Flip, I'm not sure. So I'm going to walk around here and just get some other colours, because it's a lot of greens, so we're going to get some different colours here. There's a couple of pink flowers here that we'll try and pick up and see how well they colour grade. Now, obviously, this is the back facing camera, and I will put all the details on the screen of the megapixels and things like that, so you can, you know, judge for yourself how good it looks. Now, there's one thing I want to show you when it comes to this phone. You can see there's a little box at the top right here, and basically what that does is if I turn it on, the cover then becomes a camera which displays the back screen. So if I turn it like this again, I now can see what I'm meant to be recording on the back camera, so I can utilise it. So now, so I'm still on the back camera. The colour for, you know, in the darkness when it's facing the sun doesn't look the best, but this is what I can do. I can frame myself properly using the back camera to see a vlog style, if you will, and yeah, basically the same as isn't normally. But we're going to switch over now to the front facing camera. There's a cat. Just a cat randomly appeared. That's bizarre. Yeah, we're going to change over to the front facing camera now and get some footage of how good that quality is. Kitty? There you go. We're walking together. There we go. We're now a squad. Come on. So, just chilling with the cat. Now I can colour grade what it looks like with the white. What are you doing, cat? Oh, I was meant to take a photo. I'm dirty now. So, my friend's just left. Basically, I'm now using the front-facing camera in log mode, which I didn't know it did. There's a couple of colours here, so we're going to try and grab the reds and see how they turn out. Now, I will be using the microphones again from the phone on these recordings, so it won't be coming from the DJI, which I'm using with the Action 5 Pro here. So you'll have to decide how good the audio is. This is what the front-facing cameras look like. I'll put all the specs on the screen again of the megapixels and things like that. But for me, this phone feels nice, natural, and yeah, just lightweight. But it's just a shame the colours of the photos don't pop as much as the S23 Ultra. And also when the sun was beaming out then, and I turned around and it sort of just blacked me out, it didn't really utilise very well. Apart from in photo mode, it did really good in toning down the whites and brightening the other colours. That's what the front facing camera looks like. So yeah, now what I'm going to do is take a couple more photos, because there's some stuff in the trees, like these little weird hanging things. So we're going to take some photos and then compare them. What ones you think look better? The left side again, the S23 Ultra, right side being the Z Flip 7. Alright, so what we're going to do is, there was a weird purple thing. So I'm going to take a photo on the S23 Flip 7. Now I'm not going to edit these, I'm going to leave them as they are, coming straight from the phone. So hopefully the phone doesn't auto edit them and ruin this whole process. Let's get some of this tree because it looks quite funky. You see what I mean with the colours though? The S23 just, I don't know, just makes it look so much better. So I'm just going to have a little walk around and take some more snapshots. This tree is quite fun. Yeah, there's a red box over here, like a little lifeline, throwing line. Let's take a... There we go. See what I mean? Just the colours alone. Look at the greens there. Look at that. Look at the green. That's amazing. Let's get one over long. Now they are both the same defaults, I guess, if you will. 12 megapixels at 916, 12 megapixels 916. There is no filters on, nothing like that. This is coming directly from the phone. Like even my shoes. Did notice my shoes look more natural in this one compared to this one, where the greens look better. And I don't know, I'm kind of torn between. Oh, there's the cat. Go on to the cat. Okay, let's try and get up to 4. One of the cat. One of the cat. This also goes up to 10. So let's try it at 10 times. Now, if you look at that, the stabilisation as well is unreal. This one is so shaky compared to this one. Now let's try the ultra wide camera. Again, the greens, I think the mud looks better on this one because it looks more darkened, but the greens look better on this one and the colour. I'm kind of torn between them both. I'm not too sure what one looks better. You'll have to let me know. Ultra wide, there's a bit of brightness in the back to see how it utilises the ISO on that one. Right, let's go back to 1 times. Try to get one of this tree. That's pretty cool. Okay, now I think that might be enough for the photos. The thing with the 50 megapixel, I can't really judge when it's going to take the photo, so I can't, you know, really show off between the S23 and the Flip here, because with the 50 it takes a while for it to actually load up. I just want to get a photo of this cat climbing the tree. Let's put this phone away. What a photo that is. Whoever's cat this is, it's just had a full-on photo shoot. So it's currently 10:56. Okay, I'm going to do a quick battery check on what they're both on. So the phone is at 69 and the watch is at 91, which is quite good. The fact that the watch has been taking all my steps in, currently at 3,737 steps. So the fact that the phone's been picking up, the fact that the watch has been picking up my every single step, and also been using the phone for photography and things like that, and it's only at 69%, that's not bad. Although it is only 10:57 in the morning. We've still got the rest of the day to go. But so far, so good. I think it's time now to head back home and start some editing because I've got some work to do. But yeah, this isn't really a normal day in the life. Normally my day in the life is sitting at home. So this is nice to get out. So yeah, let's now head back home and start some work. Got some emails to check and things like that. Hopefully the audio throughout this has been good, because I haven't got the wind muffler on top of the DJI mic, which I really should have put on. The only thing I can't test, obviously, is the recording of the S23 Ultra, because the fact that it doesn't have log, it's a little bit of cheating. It uses autocolors, or if like white balancing. I don't want to, you know, discourage what the log footage looks like by using something that's already color graded in a sense. So we won't be doing a test between the S23 Ultra and that in that sense. But when it comes to photos, more people take photos on their phones than they do videos, so that kind of makes sense to test that one. The only thing is, because I don't do these day in the life, so I don't really know what to say. I sort of just blabble. But for my first ever phone day in the life, hopefully I've captured everything in my mind that I think should be captured. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this at the moment. So you have to let me know in the comments below if this is enjoyable or if there's anything that I should try and do better. Okay. Yeah, this is a cool perspective.
Where the pain is all I know, and I'll never break away. 'Cause when I'm alone, I'm lost in these memories. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I got. Please stay.
I don't know why I do it to myself. Every time I go out, I always overpack. I pack way too much. Like this bag, the Grams 28 bag, Stealth 151, absolutely beautiful bag, but it holds too much. And it just makes me feel like I need to fill it when I clearly don't. Like half of this stuff I didn't even use today. Okay, the ND filters for the Action 5 Pro I did use quite a lot. But I mean, is that everything? And then I have to empty it and make sure everything's out of it, to then go back in its safe packaged bag and then go in the cupboard, and there we go. I think that is everything out of it. I mean, it goes in the gear locker, which all the other gear goes in anyway, so I could have just left it all in the bag. Right, we're good. We are back home, obviously, as you can tell. A lot of footage to upload to the NAS system to get over to the PC, start editing so I can understand where the flow of this video is going, because at the minute, like I said, this is the first ever day in the life I've ever done with a product. So you're gonna have to bear with me while I learn the ropes. And I've always wanted to jump in this realm of being this tech creator that can go out in public and test things and new lenses, new cameras, new phones, whatever it is. But I've always been sort of shelled in. If any of you have ever heard me say it before, I won't even record in front of my wife because I feel it's not embarrassment, or it's not that. It's the fact that I know that I have to do so many retakes and my brain doesn't keep up with what I'm trying to say. So I know that if someone else is listening to me, in my mind, that's just going to play games and I'm going to constantly keep messing up. So it's going to take even longer to make the video. So even out in public, I find it very hard to start a conversation and keep it flowing. So when I'm trying to record, if I'm talking about a product, it's a little bit easier when I'm out and about because I just sort of focus in on that product. So this was the first day where I really went out and just spoke freely and while showing off the product. And I think that is all down to the Action 5 Pro. Without that, if I had to hold my big camera, I wouldn't have done it. So that definitely for me was a plus, having that Action 5 and just being able to freely talk and show off the beauty of this phone doing its thing. And the fact that, you know, my first ever day in the life with a new phone being Samsung on one of their latest and greatest, that right there, that's an achievement for me. I'm sorry. Like, by no means, this is not a paid collaboration. This is not a gifted collaboration. I have to send this back. Same with the watch. Now, I haven't covered the watch as much as the phone because the watch, it does what every other watch does. Now, there are some features I will be talking about in a future video about the watch, but in this video, it's more about the day in the life, pairing them both together. This is just more for the time. It's the convenience and it shows me how many steps I've taken. I don't really use the features on my smartwatch. You know, maybe a couple of notifications if I'm driving, I can swipe to see if I get like an important notification that I need to pull over and like urgently take a call or something. But other than that, I rarely use my watch. So that's why it is a day in the life using both the watch and the phone, because I'm technically still using the watch. It's just to see how the battery life works, basically in standby mode compared to the phone being utilized and used. But anyway, like I was saying before I rambled on, this is a loaned product. I have to give back the phone and the watch after 8 weeks. So this is just a chance for me to really dive deep into the realm of what it's actually like being this tech creator that covers the newest and the latest things. And I will admit, I am hugely inspired by other creators. I see what Siobhan does, I see what Jayhawk does, I see what Lo does, and I just sit there thinking, do you know what?
what it would be to get something like this sent out, even if it's not paid or gifted and it's just a loan item, just to be able to do that. And now the fact that I have it, there's actually another massive inspiration that really led me to think about being out in the open doing this, and that is It's Just Andy. He basically made a video saying that he went to an event. All he done was print off a little lanyard with his socials saying that he's media, and it gave him that confidence to record in public. And I think that's what this phone has done. It's given me that sort of sense of, I'm doing this for Samsung. I haven't just bought the phone, I legit have been sent this by Samsung, and I get to create content for them around this phone. And that for me was the massive eye-opener. You know, I can understand now why these creators out in the wild, just walking around talking to a camera, showing the phone off, they can do it so freely. It felt more natural, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, it's currently 11:49. So almost lunchtime, and the battery on the phone is at 63 and the watch is at 90. And it's almost midday and I started at 5 in the morning. So for the amount of time that it's been going and the amount of stuff we've done on it, where it was either watching YouTube videos, recording, taking photos, or just utilizing the phone itself by just checking emails, doing apps, replying to people and whatnot, it's not even at 0.5% battery. Now a lot of people are saying the Z Flip 7 has 15% better battery than the Z Flip 6. I never had the Z Flip 6, I never had any of the other flips apart from this one, so I can't justify whether that's true or not. But a lot of things that people are mentioning about this is that it's pretty much the exact same as the Flip 6 with slight upgrades, with obviously being the bezel, now being able to utilize the full front screen. It is a little bit thinner, the hinges are better quality and more robust, although there are some comments out there saying not to open it in certain temperatures, which we'll make another video about. Now for me, I mean, it's my first ever flip phone from Samsung and it feels fantastic, it looks fantastic. I do miss obviously having the better quality cameras, but with being a smaller body and having a screen where the cameras are, you've got to sacrifice having certain things. Now while I am loving this phone, don't get me wrong, I still think the Fold is probably one of the more superior phones out there. It's not even for the chip, like this chip in here is absolutely fine. I wouldn't even say that this is a terrible chip. I think it's more dedicated to the creator because it turns into that tablet. So thinking of photo editing, it will just make it a lot easier. It's a shame it doesn't have an S Pen. I really think they missed the beat when it comes to not adding that S Pen in. I don't know why, because having a tablet size screen with an S Pen would just be like the creme de la creme. It would make the phone way better. The fact that the S23 Ultra has an S Pen and the Z Fold 7 doesn't, it's beyond me. Or even if they added some sort of support where if you've got an S Pen or you buy a second-hand S Pen, it should work on the tablet. That for me, I really do think they missed out on that. So, but when it does come down to the phone in general, it's more of a creator's phone, I think, because of the power that it can do. The heating elements don't get as hot as they say this does. It can run full Ultra HD games without burning up. And then obviously the upgraded cameras and things like that, where this doesn't have it. I think there's just a few little things on the Fold that this does not have, which kind of sways me more towards having the Fold when I need to upgrade. Although I am absolutely loving the Flip just for the compactness, but then I have issues when it comes to storing it in my car. It doesn't really fit in certain places because it folds up into a square, but then because it is a little bit longer than the average phone, it doesn't actually fit nicely even if it's unfolded. It's a bit of a hit and miss. I've only had this, what, 2-3 days now, so I can't really say at the minute I'm still sticking with the Fold, because this could easily sway me. I don't know. In a couple of weeks I could easily be like, do you know what, I'm thinking this one right now instead of a Fold. I don't want it to be too big. I like the compactness. I like the fact you can flip it up and down. But anyway, it is now 11:57. I need to get on with some work and do some editing, some emails. So this will probably be on standby now for the next couple of hours, and then we'll go and pick up the kids and see how the battery life is then. But other than that, it's time to get on with some work. So the rest of the video is just going to be done on the DJI because it's a lot easier than carrying this old big boy around and transferring files and stuff. Currently now 1:49. The battery life for the phone is at 58% and the watch is at 86%. All I've been doing is transferring all the files over from my cameras onto the PC, getting all of that stuff done. and just going through emails on the PC. So this has been sitting there, not really doing much. I have been on it now and then, just checking some notifications and things like that. So it hasn't actually been really that active. Now I will say it did charge maybe about 2 minutes while transferring the files over, but luckily I didn't use a data cable that had like super fast charging, so it didn't actually move the bar at all, which is good because I don't want to do that, because then it sort of just defeats the point of doing a whole day on one charge. So what I'm going to do now is start the edit for this video, and then around 2:30, 2:45, head over and go and pick up the kids, and then come back and yeah, just get on with the rest of the day like I normally do, sort their food out, get them into pajamas and into bed, and then start do some recordings and things like that. And so far it is doing all right. It is past midday and we've still got more than 0.5% battery. Really good, to be fair. And that is with this actually being used as well. Normally what it is I come here, I sit down, I work, I put my phone down, I open it, you know, you do the doom scrolling for about 20 to 30 minutes and then it goes back down. So the real day in the life, this would probably still be at like 70%. So I'm going to start this edit for the day in the life, and then we can get back into the rest of the video. Okay, so I have just noticed the time. It's currently 2:36, so I need to get ready to go and pick up Finley and Harley. And then we can come back and finish this edit, because there's a lot going into this video. This is probably one of the longest videos I've actually done on this channel, maybe. So I appreciate all the love on it. If you're still watching, I do appreciate it. I need to go get the kids because I'm going to be late otherwise. So let's go do that.
All right, I'm in rally mode at the minute, because I didn't realise I'm a little bit later than I thought I was going to be. So I'm doing 60, which is the limit. But I'm like tearing these corners up. Literally like drop down a gear, whoop, bop, 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 around this corner. What do you mean? Moser racing, IRL. But no, seriously, safe driving, all that stuff, within the limit. I ain't even got to explain it.
Okay, so finally got home. It is 3:59, almost 4. So Harley's fed and Finn is in bed after having some food. So it is time to get back onto the edit, get this video done. I'll probably cut this video off around 7:30 with another battery checkup after using the phone for uploading some shorts and stuff like that, so we can really see how well the phone's done. But so far we are looking at the battery life. The phone is on 51% and the watch is at 82%, which is actually quite surprising. I didn't think the phone would last this long. The fact that I used it pretty much all day, comparison to a normal day in the life that I normally do, sitting here doing just work. So I'm actually really shocked that this has still lasted. But actually, before I jump into the edit, I want to jump on a game on here just so I can see what it actually feels like gaming. So we're going to go on to, I've downloaded Car X Street because I know that game is reasonably well optimized for phones. So we'll jump on that. And I mean, it's running pretty smoothly. Now obviously I'm still recording on the DJI, so it is looking a bit wham, you know, it goes like a fisheye effect, which I think looks pretty cool. I mean, so far the only thing that gets hot is this back screen. This part of the phone has been relatively cool the whole time. Part right here, this is where I'm feeling the most warmth. So I'm guessing, is the chip underneath the glass? Because this is this just all battery? I have no idea. Now with the brightness, I haven't had it fully up all the way because obviously when it's on full, the camera can't really pick up the screen that well, but it does go absolutely crazy bright. Maybe that's why the battery has lasted as long as it has, is because I haven't had it on full brightness. Again, that is only for the purpose of the video, so you can see the screen a little bit clearer while I've been using it out and about. It does have the adaptive brightness on, so while I've been out and taking photos and stuff, it probably has been going up and down. Okay, yeah, that is it's getting really warm at the back. I haven't actually played the mobile version of Car X Street, only on PC, so it's been a nice little test. Right, it's running quite smooth. I'm going to go into settings quickly. I'm going to go to audio and just turn off that music. Graphics, what are we looking at? Graphics quality is 4s. We're going to whack that all the way up, because why not? Resolution all the way up. Render distance all the way up. Shadow quality up. Motion blur off, we don't use that. Anti-aliasing on. High, and frame limit no limit. I mean, it's still pretty smooth. It's not synced up to the PC version. Oh, that sucks. I thought I was going to have all my cars and my drifts and stuff. So yeah, like I can say, this bit here of the phone is getting super warm already, where this part is freezing cold. Hear the sound quality of this. Okay, the sound quality actually is pretty decent, to be fair. The controls, I don't like. There we go, wheel, that's what I'm looking for. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that was nicer, a bit smoother. Oh, we had a little bit of lag then. A little bit of lag. I mean, so far the chip is holding up really well for a game like this. Control that drift, boy. Woo, okay. So yeah, I mean, the back of the screen, this part here is relatively warm. It's not boiling hot, but it is getting really, really warm compared to the bottom here. This is just stone cold. I can see where people are saying it's getting warm, but I wouldn't say it's getting overly hot to the point where, you know, it's unusable. It just does get rather warm. So the time is currently 4:13. I've been playing that for around 10 minutes at maximum brightness, maximum settings, and the battery life is now dropped down to 45%. So I mean, for just that 10 minutes of gaming on maximum brightness and settings, it has dropped quite a good amount. So I think if you played this for 2 hours in a day, your battery would just be kaput. Now, mobile gaming for me isn't a massive thing. I don't technically play games on the mobile, so it's not a deal breaker for me, but for some people out there that only play on mobile, like COD Mobile, CarX Street, PUBG and other things like that, then yes, this probably wouldn't be for you. This is not for the gaming enthusiast when it comes down to really going max settings. Now that's not saying this isn't a good enough phone to run the games, because it clearly just did really well. It's just the fact that it does get quite warm on that front screen, and then again, that battery life really did drop quite quick. Like I said, I don't play games on the phone, and I never really have my phone on full brightness. I normally have mine around like a quarter of a way, just because I don't need it to be super bright. I'm in the office most of the time, I can see the screen, and even then at quarter of a way, it's still a good brightness. What I'm going to do now is jump on to finish some of the editing. Currently 4:15 with 45% battery. So what I'll do is I'll jump back on the video around 5 o'clock, see if the battery life does decrease any more from it just being in standby mode. That means only notifications popping up, and if my wife rings or whatever and I use the phone. But other than that, if it's just sitting there, it shouldn't drop anything below 45% at all. So we'll see when I come back at 5 o'clock. And I said I'd jump back at 5 o'clock. I got stuck in editing. It's actually 6:09 at this exact moment. And like I said, I had the phone on the side. I've had a couple of phone calls from my wife, and also a couple of notifications that I replied to on WhatsApp, emails and things like that. So the phone has dropped down in battery to 41%, which I believe it was at 45 before. Isn't a massive drop, but then for it only being used pretty much on this little screen here for replying back to a couple of messages and answering a couple of phone calls, dropping down from 45 to 41, it is a bit of a jump. But again, we're at 6:10 and we're at 41% battery, and the watch is still at 80%. The watch, I guess, has more of a longer battery life, the fact that it tracks your sleep overnight, so if you wake up in the morning, it's still got at least some battery there for a little bit through the day, but then it means you're gonna have to charge through the day. So that's why I always recommend going for like a ring or something that you can charge in the day and track your sleep overnight, that you don't really utilize it, because with a watch, you know, having it on your wrist is through the day. You don't really need it at night time. Now, before anyone in the comments is like, but this is not a full day, you're giving up halfway, you've still got all night to go. Listen, I'm going on a regular person's schedule, not one of these extravagant sort of people that live the nightlife as well. I have kids, okay? I get on with work at the end of the night. When my kids are asleep, my phone goes down, I focus, I edit. So for me, this is the regular day. And the thing is, I actually went out and used the phone, where, like I said before, I normally stay in this office just editing, recording, working, and that's it. The fact that this still has battery that high after even being used all day as well for emails, phone calls, messages, photos, videos, gaming, that's pretty impressive. The amount of things that I've seen online as well about it being like the battery life's not the best and it overheats when you game and it's just not worth the money, and at the end of the day, it's a folding phone. I mean, that's pretty much, that's the gimmick. That's what it is. That's why it's so expensive. It's the technology that goes into the hinges not being really cheaply made, or the fact that it can go super thin, literally the size of the USB-C, or the screen that's foldable, and all the other stuff that goes into making these. I can understand the price point, I can. Now, it is only, what, the second or third day I've actually had this and used it. So over time, yes, your battery will get worse, or it may even start to recognize a pattern of when you're using it and then when you're not, so it might sort of put it into an optimization sort of standby. I don't know. I just wanted to give my regular day in the life, because the rest of the night will be editing the rest of this video, and I probably will use this maybe once or twice if I get some notifications or I need to upload a video like a short form. Then yes, I'll use it, and that will probably drain the battery, what, 3 or 4% by the time I actually go to sleep. I don't want to just drag this video out any longer than it needs to be. It is what it is. It's still at 41%. I used it, I've abused it to the best of my ability of what I do. And again, my normal phone's at 66% and I haven't even used it. So that's showing how your battery deteriorates over time without even using your phone, really. So for everyone out there, I would definitely say if you are more of a flip person, I mean, I'd recommend it 100%. It is a great phone. The cameras could use a little bit of work. I will say, going through some of the footage, at the start I was a little bit curious because the photos did look the same, and then after a while the greens really start to pop on the S23 Ultra compared to this one here. And I mean, they were both on 12 megapixel, both on 50 megapixel, both at the same zoom. So why was the color recipe completely different? I have no idea. But overall, I'm happy with this flip. I think it does come down to your personal preference. If you are more of a flip or a fold person, that's down to you. For me, I still think the fold might be my overall favorite, just for the fact of how big it goes. I like a tablet sort of size, but then I also like the fact that I can place this flat and still see all of my stuff. Or like watch a YouTube video like I did this morning, when you sort of just collapse it open a bit and you can have it on the front screen. That for me, I really did enjoy that utilization. But then the thing that sways me more to the fold is it's a bigger screen. If you did have it like this, watching a YouTube video, you could have a full screen YouTube video instead of just this small little box. The other side, they both do the same thing, but the fold has way more capabilities than the flip. Now I do have like another 7 weeks with this, so it still could sway me more to having a flip. I don't know, but there's a load more videos that I'm going to be bringing out about this, where it comes down to the features that I found that will make it smoother or make it faster, and some other videos that I've got planned. I've got a massive list in my book that I want to get done before I have to send this back and the Watch 8. There is one thing that these two paired together can do, which is super cool, so that will be coming in another video. But I'm actually pleased with this phone. I don't think it needs the negativity that a lot of people are giving it when it comes down to the chip and the overheating and all these other little features that people are just nitpicking at. It is a great device. Samsung have definitely pulled it out of the park with this flip phone. A lot of people say it's more than nostalgia, and that's why, you know, it's so expensive. It's because they're fighting back to this old nostalgia phase of having a flip phone or whatever. But the technology that goes into these is unreal. So that's my little two-piece on that. But anywho, I'm going to end it at 18:18. That's 18 past 6 if you didn't know. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, hit notification, because there is so much more content coming, not only for phones, but keyboards and other brands out there that might have seen this video and gone, do you know what? Let's send him one of our phones that may be a random brand that I've never heard of, or it could be something like the Honor V5, it could be an Oppo, whatever it is. I'm up for doing another day in the life and just growing on how to progress in this day in the life stuff and just making it better and better and better, because the only way you can do it is just get out there and do it. If you think that it's not going to be good enough, it won't be good enough. So that's why I did it. I thought I'm going to push myself and challenge myself to do a long video where I sort of showcase everything that I possibly think of that needs to be showcased. And if I have missed anything, please let me know in the comments below so I can add another video just going over those features for you. But other than that, my name's been Callum, Capture, Captivate, and thank you all again for watching till the end. If you did, massive love to you, and I'll see you all in the next video.